Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing another Fate Reforged Swiss draft. I've decided to institute my old policy again for fun's sake. So this is still a Swiss draft, but if I win this, the next time I win a Swiss draft, I'll do an 8-4, and if I make it to the finals to the 8-4, I'll do another 8-4, but if I lose in the first couple rounds of the 8-4, I go back to Swiss and then repeat that process. So I've decided to pick up that old policy again. I feel like there's at least some people that want to see 8-4s. I don't like them as much as Swiss. I think Swiss is, you get your money's worth more often. But I'll do it just because it's been a long time. So it's been long enough away from 8-4s where I'm willing to try them out again, as long as I earn it. So this one's an elite scale guard, easy pickup. This card could have easily been a rare. There's definitely some good removal in that pack as well, which would have been just as welcome. But wow, foil mob rule. Well, yeah, I think we're just gonna go ahead and pick that. Wait, there's a strike leader in here too? So someone just like maybe missed their pick? No, that can't be. This strike leader's sick too, isn't he? So do I want a dude who... This is kind of tough now. Yeah. Man. Well, if I go black-white, man, that's really tough. I mean, black-red and black-white are both really good. Mob Rule is such a good card. It is underrated. But I haven't gotten to play the strike leader yet, and this guy's much cheaper, and he's a warrior. I almost feel like... But he is just a 3-mana 3/2. I mean, he's pretty easily... He's not, like, broken. I feel like Mob Rule's more broken than Strike Leader. Strike Leader's just a really good card. Mob Rule's like a broken card in my mind. Not broken, but excessively, extremely good. Okay, so... We are past the Reach of Shadows, which admittedly would almost immediately move us into more of a Mardu deck. I could take the Mardu Scout instead, which I think is a fine card. I'd rather have the Reach of Shadows. I think the Reach of Shadows is the best card here. I like the Executioner too. The challenge here. I guess the challenge is if I take this, I've kind of limited myself to a clan at that point, which is fine. I like Mardu. Some people don't like it. I do like Reach of Shadows. I think it's the pick here. I don't know which base colors I am. Typically when I'm 3-color, like I've already kind of solidified myself into. Geez, we're just getting past really, oh my god. Look at these cards. Light Form, Sure Shot, Reach of Shadows, all amazing. I think we're going to take the Light Form over the Reach. Usually I just slam Reach over most things. There was a comment that someone thought Sure Shot's better than Reach, and that's fine. You can, you know, you're fine for thinking that. I don't agree with it. I don't necessarily think Sure Shot's better than Reach, but Light Form's kind of a different story altogether. It is color intensive is the one issue. If I take Reach of Shadows, number 2, that's probably fine too. I feel like Light Form with Scale Guard is pretty awesome. I think I'm going to go Light Form. I kind of got my heart set on it just because I really like this card a lot. Kind of misplayed it the first time around, unfortunately, but... Okay, so now the choice is between Soul Summons and Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear is a warrior, which works better with a black-white shell, but I think Soul Summons is probably just better overall because it feeds your Delve plan and it's not just a 1/1. I mean, Shadow Spear is a good, efficient beater. I actually think it's a good card, but I could actually take the Lotus Eye Mystics here too. That worked out for me reasonably well last time. What I like about the Mystics is if you pick up debilitating injuries. Actually, you know, I think Mystics might actually be the pick here, even though they could table. I already have a Light Form, which is pretty amazing with it. And like I said, if I pick up Debilitating Injuries, it actually makes the Mystic better. So despite liking cheaper picks more, I'm going to take the pick that synergizes better with what I've got and can potentially get in the future. Here, I mean, Collateral Damage is a fine card. It's really between that or Barricade, which is also good. Not great, but I'll play it. We look like a deck that could make some use out of it. So it's nice to just, you know, basically counter a removal spell. And it works well with enter the battlefield effects like Lotus Eye Mystics. Get maybe another return effect or something. I'm not really giving up much for it here, so it feels reasonable. Okay. Interesting. I think the pick here is between Pressure Point and Hooded Assassin. Pressure Point is a very good tempo card. We don't look like a very tempo deck, so I think Hooded Assassin is going to be better for us for the most part. I think getting a 2/3 or finishing a creature off is probably more in line with what we're ultimately going to want to do. I could actually take the Gore Swine, which is arguably better than Hooded Assassin, and then just be base. I could also be base white, red. Splash black, which is also okay. Maybe I'm more okay with that actually. I think I'd rather be the base. Oh, and then we're passing Arcbond too. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to play with this rare yet, and I wanted to. Yeah, I think Arcbond's actually just a really strong card. So we're gonna take that. All right, Scroll of the Masters. I like more than most people do. Currently, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards that work with it. That's enough. I'm not giving up anything for it. I don't really care for Great Horn Crew Shock, and these black cards aren't that great anyway. So, all right. So I think at this point we've pretty much solidified ourselves into presumably Mardu, because we already have the 3 colors. And very likely I want to be base red-white. Which means maybe the Warflare over the Smoldering Efreet is the pick here. Warflare is a pretty good trick. I mean, Efreet is just a cheap creature, which is fine. I don't really like it all that much. And Hued Stone Retainers is fine too, but I actually like Warflare quite a bit, despite the fact that it's fairly color intensive. All right, Skirmisher's fine. I think I actually like Fierce Invocation more, just because it, I guess, synergizes well with Scroll of the Masters, as well as filling your graveyard for potential delve spells that I may or may not get. All right, get a Skirmisher anyway, so we'll take it. Ancestral Vengeance. Doubt we're going to play it, but whatever. Dark Deal, we'll just cut black. And last pick Skirmisher is a pretty good sign that people are not in white, I would say. Someone chose a land over a Skirmisher. Could be someone is disconnected currently, because I feel like the pack where we had a choice between the black card and the mob rule, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people that said I should have slammed the 3/2 for 3 that gets you a 2/1 every time it attacks with dash or whatever. But I've just had too many good experiences with mob rule. I'm not going to pass it. Karu Spell Snatcher. You know, I played this quite a bit too. I actually like that card. Almost makes me wish we were, you know, in the same color as it. I think we're just going to slam a Horde Chief here. Otherwise, there's what, like a Rush of Battle, which goes well with our Horde Chief, but I just like the Horde Chief quite a bit. It's a good card. And maybe Hope to Wheel, Scavenger, Rush of Battle, or Leaping Master. There's some pretty good cards in here. There's a pretty good chance we get one of those cards back. Okay, Heart Piercer is quite good. It would have to take something special to take over it. No, I think we're just taking a Heart Piercer here pretty easily. Certainly goes well with what we've got so far, so I'm on board with that. The Skirmishers actually look okay in this deck too. If we're Mardu, we could end up getting a Raider Spoils, which would work pretty phenomenally with it, but they actually work fine with Rush of Battle too, since they are in fact warriors. But yeah, let's easily take a Heart Piercer here. It's just a good card. I like the Hate Blade. I think I'd rather splash the Rough Rider though. Rough Rider is a very strong card, and it's uncommon. And black being our splash color, I feel like makes the Hate Blade more awkward than the Rough Rider. So Seems like an easy pick. The skirmishers are actually fine with the scale guard too. So far I like the path we're on quite a bit. I've had good experiences with every single clan. There really isn't one clan that I think is the worst or the best necessarily. That's way difficult for me to evaluate. I think they're all very good. Okay. I think I like High Spire Mantis more than Kieran, despite Mantis being more color intensive. But it's a good card. There's another Rush of Battle in here, which would also be good, but we'll take the Mantis. I mean, if no fixing presents itself, I could dip myself out of black again, but the black cards we have are certainly splash-worthy cards. I'd much sooner like to cut a Fierce Invocation than a Rough Rider or a Reach of Shadows. We do need some more early game. I don't really like what the skirmishers do for more of a control build. To get the Raider spoils. I think it's the pick here too, honestly. We've already got a Horde Chief, which is just amazing with it. And, I mean, it's certainly going to motivate us to want to play double skirmisher. I can tell you that much. Otherwise, it's like a Valley Dasher, which is nothing amazing, or a Bondkin, which I wouldn't take over Raider spoils, or a War Behemoth, which is like fine card. Barrage of Boulders would actually be fine too, with like the Gore Swine, but maybe not much else. Let's take Raider spoils. This is a great card. All right, Ponyback Brigade is going to work well alongside Raider spoils. It's going to work very well alongside any sort of Rush of Battle style effect or Trumpet Blast. So I think we just take the Ponyback Brigade here. All right, so at this point we've almost got a deck, which means we just really want fixing. Bondkin's a 2-drop. I think I'm going to take it over the second Ponyback here. It's not a warrior, granted, but our early game is very lacking, and Bondkin is a pretty excellent one when it's in one of your main colors. So I think I got to go with the Bondkin here. It's also very good with Scale Guard. Ooh, we get a late Horde Ambusher here, which I actually am going to take. I mean, there is a Trumpet Blast in here, which I'd also actually like for this deck, but we already have a War Flare, which works well with it, and Horde Ambusher is at least something I can do early in a pinch, or, you know, works as a nice way to get by a blocker. So I like that quite a bit. Ooh, well, we got the Rush of Battle now, but now I think I'm going to take the Leaping Master. I think at this point we're pretty well geared to be a nice, aggressive Mardu deck. And like I said, I already have the War Flare, which and the Raider spoils. So actually, you know what? I don't even need a Rush of Battle or a Trumpet Blast at this point. I get that Rush of Battle gains me life with Warriors, but I think I'd rather just, between War Flare and Raider spoils, I'm good on the pump effects. I'm much more just hunting for nice, cheap creatures. All right, War Behemoth's fine. So we're desperately hunting for fixing. I probably just play War Behemoth over Fierce Invocation. So yeah, I'm just, all right, I'm going to hate a Warden of the Eye here because I actually think that card's really good. I saw a comment that I was overvaluing it, but I disagree. I think Warden of the Eye is a very strong card. Very good card. I've also gotten quite a few comments on my choices to play 18 lands, which is fine. People, you know, they surely have some fine arguments against why I should be doing that. But if I have enough expensive stuff to do, like really, our curve is more like this. I think people, maybe they forgot. I don't know if they watched a lot with cons, but you have to look at your morph guys as also being in your 5 slot. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just hope to play them as Gray Ogres and expect to win. You really do need them to pull more weight than that. All right, this feels like an easy suspension field. I'd be hard-pressed to find something that I would rather play. Yeah, I'm a big suspension field fan in general, and that actually is more ammo for Lotus Eye Mystics. Admittedly, it'd be pretty... It's pretty seldom that suspension field gets destroyed, but looking like probably Scroll of Masters is going to end up getting the axe in this deck because we just have a pretty good creature count, so it doesn't seem like we need the Scroll of Masters. So I'd rather, let's just put the Suspension Field in. Quite good card. No fixing. Let's see. Could take a Defiant Strike. It's not great. Dragon Grip's fine, not amazing. I guess we could take the Sage-Eyed Harrier. It is a warrior, which works well with the Raider spoils. Yeah, nothing special. Nothing fancy, but it is a warrior. Pretty unexciting pick. I mean, it could take Active Treason, too. It might be better with the aggressiveness that we're going for. Yeah, I guess I'm a little more on board with Active Treason there. Okay, another Bondkin seems quite good. More early game is better. Yeah, there's maybe a chance we dip out of black. But I do like the Raider spoils quite a bit. Let's just put the Bondkin in for now, and I guess think about it a little bit longer. All right, Arc Lightning got better with... Arc Lightning certainly got better with Fate Reforged, now that there's like better early game plans. Let's cut black for now and see where we end up. I could very easily go back into it. But we're just, for now, we're just getting good. We're just really getting good red and white picks. And we just have, the fact that I have no fixing, I think, is kind of the key factor in why I'm a little more motivated to move into this style of build. But then again, the skirmishers do get worse, quite a bit worse, actually, with 2 color. Yeah, I guess Salt Road Patrol is fine here. It's probably more exciting than an Active Treason or a Defiant Strike. We're not really a prowess-based deck all that much. Death Frenzy seems pretty good against us, actually. But I don't want to hate it if I'm still looking for playables. A second Raider spoils, really? I'm going to take it, because there's a pretty good chance that I splash for him. I just don't know yet. All right, Killshot is certainly a strong card. I think we're taking that here. This is an interesting situation to be in, since I have no fixing, but really good cards for black. I actually think I take the second War Behemoth and I cut a Skirmisher. Just because I don't really like Skirmishers in my straight red-white build. I really like them in my double Raider Spoils build. I would love to have 2 Skirmishers. In my red-white Beats deck, I don't really like Skirmisher all that much. And I would rather play a War Behemoth, I think. All right. Abzan Guide is certainly the strongest card remaining here, so we'll hate that. I could take the Dragon Grip, otherwise I'd take a Defiant Strike. I still don't really see Defiant Strike being all that good in our deck. I guess I'll take a Dragon Grip, which is fine, not amazing. Roar of Challenge is something I don't want to play against. It can be a real board wrecker. We'll just take a cheap creature away from our opponents. All right, let's cut the second Skirmisher here too. I'm okay with that. Blazebringer, I've played it. It's not great. I probably play a Fierce Invocation over Dragon Grip, just because Dragon Grip's not that great of a card in general. I almost don't like Jeskai Barricade that much in a beatdown deck. I can see some value with, let's see all the things that it actually works well with. It works well with, I don't need the Cavalry really either. I'd rather play a Skirmisher than a Cavalry, I think. What was I saying? Oh, where is Barricade good? It's good with Horde Chief, kind of, for getting you another dude. It's good with Ambusher, I guess, in a pinch, if you need to make another guy unable to block. It's good with Lotus Eye Mystics, maybe, for bringing back a enchantment. It's good with, I guess not that much else. Scale Guard. It's good with Scale Guard. So it's good with Scale Guard, Heart Piercer, Mystics, Horde Chief, Ambusher, maybe. I guess that's a decent count it's good with, but I mean, my main issue with it is it's not a very beatdown card. It's much more defensive. I probably could cut a barricade for a skirmisher. I'd rather have a guy that evades and beats down than a guy that protects, maybe? That's tough. I feel like Barricade's going to be a better sideboard card for us. That's what I think. So this is really interesting. I've probably never had such good Mardu cards that I guess I'm not going to play just because I have a pretty good looking, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good looking red-white deck, honestly. If we look at our, if we look at everything. I guess our creatures are pretty lacking. Our spells are pretty fantastic. Our removal is excellent. Suspension Field. Arc Bond is like a straight-up board wipe, plus potentially kill your opponent. Or tie a game that you're going to lose. All of those options are amazing. Arc Lightning is very good with Fate Reforged. I mentioned that. Active Treason seems very good with an aggressive build. Kill Shot is not very good with an aggressive build, but a powerful white removal. Lightform's just straight up a creature. So is Fierce Invocation. So we really have like 16 creatures. Warflare is an excellent combat trick, and Mob Rule a lot of time just reads win the game. So weak aspects of this deck are our creatures aren't amazing. Strong aspects of this deck, we're going to be able to get away with 17 lands because we top out at 6, and we're 2 color, so our mana base isn't going to be stretched. I think, okay, the main deciding factor of why I'm not playing black in this deck is the fact that we have literally 0 pieces of removal. There is not one, or 1 piece of fixing, rather. There's not one fixer we got this entire time. Could I consider Scroll the Masters over something in this deck? I mean, now that we're 2 color, I'm willing to cut like a weak-ish spell for it. Like maybe Fierce Invocation's our weakest spell, just because it's a 5 mana 4/4. Let me count. How many things do I have total? I have 8 things that would trigger Scroll the Masters. So it's like a fifth of my deck. 1 in every 5 spells I cast will put a counter on it. That's probably not good enough. Honestly, I think with Scroll the Masters, you need about, I would say minimum 10 and more like 11 to 13. And then you're really going to be able to get rolling with that card. But I think, I guess I'd rather play a Fierce Invocation than it in this kind of build. So this deck's, it's okay. I mean, maybe I could cut a Skirmisher for it. I don't have that much Raid. I pretty much just have a Horde Chief, actually, for Raid. No, I guess I have Heart Piercer, too. But God, yeah, Skirmisher's not that amazing in this deck. Like I said, if I was running double Raider Spoils, I think I'd easily play them both. But I'm not really impressed with it because it doesn't block Morph all that well. But I guess if we're racing and I have a couple Raid I can get off of it, could be okay. Maybe I should give it more of a chance, I guess. Yeah, I'm not thrilled about it. How much evasion do we have? We have Skirmisher, Lightform, Mantis. It's not bad. And like I said, it does actually work pretty well with Scale Guard. You get an already evasive guy that's 2 power, 2 toughness bigger, and taps down one of your opponents when it attacks. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good synergy. So yeah, the only thing I could see changing is maybe cut a Skirmisher or a Fierce Invocation, and probably the Skirmisher, honestly, for the Scroll of Masters. But I think I'm gonna make it more of a little more of a creature-based deck, I guess. So all in all, this deck seems okay. I would have actually preferred it to be. I would have preferred to make Mardu, but with no fixing, I just think that's wishful thinking. So. I think we're going to try and be fairly evenly split. Probably just, yep, 9-8 is what I was going to do. More of our early game appears to be white, correct? I mean, we kind of want both early, but I'd say 9-8 split should give us that for the most part. So overall, this deck's okay. It's nothing special, nothing amazing. Some cool cards we have in here. I always love playing Mob Rule. Scale Guard's like a rare, very powerful card. And Arc Bond I haven't gotten to try yet, and I think it's I think it's a really good card, actually. I think it's probably really strong. Yeah, I mean, you can just end a game with Arc Bond, or at least wipe the board, which is huge in itself. So very interested in this deck. Very interested to see how it performs. Yeah, that's all I got. So I guess we'll see you round 1.